I see.
that
I
you
see.
lost on your own
You
show.
know. Okay. Okay. I hear that. All right. All right. We coming at the end of the show. So guys, we have one fan, and his name is Leo. So we can have Leo with us. Hi, Leo.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
How
how
are
are
you,
you
Leo?
doing?
Can you hear me well? Can you hear
Yes.
Yeah.
me? Okay, perfect. So yeah, just so first of all, I wanted to tell you thank you to make it possible because I'm very lucky. So yeah, I had a question. So at the beginning, it was a question for Andy, but finally, it's a question for both of you. Both of you can answer. Uh, so the question I had is. Do you think that the absence of the spectators on the courts has had an influence on the match results? I mean, since the tour results, do you think it had a positive effect on players or a bad effect? I don't know if you if you understood well the question, but
Yeah, yeah. For me, I feel like I think there has been some really good matches since we returned from the to the tour again in New York. But I think overall that it's had a negative effect. Personally, from the players and stuff that I've spoken to, there's at the beginning, when we started again, I think everyone was excited to be back competing. But then, as the tour has kind of gone on towards the end of the year, and we've played like 6, 7 tournaments in a row with no one there. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, it just feels a little bit flat now, and I'm really excited for the time when the fans can come back to play, because that adds a little bit of extra, I don't know, pressure of some, I don't know, the extra excitement that just adds so much to the sport. And I think tennis is, yeah, the fans are extremely important to tennis matches. I don't know what you think, Gail, but yeah, it's been a shame. It's been tough.
yeah, yeah. And
I
I
think
think
it's been tough. Yeah.
sorry, no, no,
Vas-y,
go on, go
go
on.
ahead, Leo. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Um,
Go ahead, Leo.
yeah, I think. For example, for Rafa, who have a lot of fans, it's maybe complicated for him, for example, to play tomorrow against Daniel because I think the fans can just help him to could just help him tomorrow. So maybe maybe it's going to be more difficult for him to win tomorrow. Maybe I don't know. So I don't know what you think about that, but
I think fans have some effect about the performances. Sometimes, like definitely it help to lift your motivation, your energy, and obviously, yeah, in a tight match, uh, to have the crowd behind you, it's better, and most of the time have a positive effect. I think so, Andy. I mean, you played a lot of Davis Cup matches, playing against big names. On the maybe you play Roger in Shanghai, and I know Roger in Shanghai is 99% of the
yeah,
time the crowd is for him, and you beat him still. So still, I think the crowd had a little bit effect of the performance of any of us. I think without crowd is a little bit just yourself and your team, but with crowd you can play as the second player, I guess.
Yeah, and I think like it's like someone like Rafa. Like I agree that I don't think the crowd affects him that much, because I think he's got such a great mentality, and his energy and stuff on the court is always really, really good. He's got a great attitude, but it can, if the crowd is behind him, it can sometimes have an effect on the opponent in big moments. And a break point, it's a little bit different when you step up to the line. If all of the crowd have just been making a big noise and are getting right behind Rafa, it sometimes can be a little bit harder to step up to the line to serve, for example, on a break point. Whereas when there's no one there, yeah, it's maybe slightly easier. But I don't think, yeah, I don't think it affects Rafa's performance too much, as we saw like at the French Open this year with no crowd. Pretty much, he still, still dominated, and most
Yes,
of the favorites have won the big events. Really, obviously, what happened in the U.S. Open with Novak, I think he would have had a great chance of winning that event as well. So yeah, it hasn't changed the results that
yeah,
much. I don't think.
of course, Rafa is special. So
Yeah.
I saw him play. So yes, it was the same, even the crowd. But when I was speaking of bad effect, I mean like for example, Sasha Zverev was in the final of the U.S. Open this year, and so when he played at the beginning of the year at the ATP Cup, he was doing some a lot of double faults, and so in the U.S. Open without spectators, it was just he was serving well. He was taking risk on his second ball. I think when there is crowd, maybe it could be more. He can have more stress. I think so. That's why I was speaking of bad effect. But of course, the crowd never have a bad effect in the motivation or anything like that. But so yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess on this one, it just improved a little bit his serve. I think he just put a bit more work on his serve. I'm not sure it's so much about the crowd, but bad effect of the crowd. It's a general great effect on someone. You know, it's not like bad effect. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
of
always
course.
say it's always a positive effect. So thank you so much, Leo, for coming with
I
us
just wanted
tonight.
to tell you something before because I'm just I just to bring something to the life to get it more better. Maybe maybe I can think that.
Oh, look at that!
I
Yeah,
think it's
Look at
better.
that! I love that. Look, I've got it on my top as well.
I have it
Right.
outside, but I cannot take it now. But uh, I just wanted to say, Andy, thank you to just because you're just an inspiration on the core and in the life. And it was one of my biggest goals to tell you maybe thank you one day. And I I was not thinking that day will be today. But no, I think for fans it was also difficult to see you, for example, during 2 or 3 years unable to play because you was injured at your hip. So just it's just special to see you play in these times, and even if the results now are not the results you're expecting, I think just see you playing is just incredible, and so I think that's for me and for all the fans, of course. So just I wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And yeah, next year the results are going to be much better. I can promise you that. So
I hope.
yeah,
I love it.
keep supporting. Yeah, no,
I,
it's going to happen. Next year is going to be different. I promise.
Thank you so much, Leo. Thank you for
Thanks, Leo.
everything. Thank you
Thank you,
for
merci
ending.
Gaël.
Thank you, Dorian. Thank you. Bye bye, Leo.
Bye.
That was very nice. That was very
Yeah,
nice.
it was
I think
nice. Yeah.
it's great. You know, I heard
Where
that
was Leo
he really
from? Do you know where he was from?
France
Oh, he's
actually,
from.
France, and he was insisting. You know, since day one, writing to my assistant to be on a show, and obviously big fan of you. So we we pick him tonight. So. Uh,
Nice. Thank you.
it's nice to see fans like that, like true fans, and you see it can be French, can be English, can be Scottish last time, but I think it's always nice to see how much people uh, like bring some positive energy to us, and I felt it. I mean, I felt it very nice from Leo. I don't know if he's watching, but I mean, thank you to you to bring to Andy the positive energy and the love, because I know you have like millions fans, but sometimes to see it real, I think it's pretty special as well.
Yeah, and I think like yeah, sometimes yeah, unless you see it or someone says that to you, like you just think that a lot of people that come to watch the tournaments, like they're just kind of tennis fans and they're there sort of being there to be entertained. But like, yeah, like if you can inspire one person, in their life or motivate them like in their own life, like yeah, that's really cool that you're able to do that through sport. So yeah, it was nice, obviously, for him
Nice meeting
to
you.
say that. I'm glad, like yeah, like I had an impact on him, and yeah, um, yeah. Hopefully, I can repay his faith next year
And
with some
you
better
will.
results. That's yeah,
You will.
yeah, I think
I'm
so. Yeah.
convinced. I
Yeah.
convince also. I
Okay.
convince also. So thank you again so much, guys, for tonight. Thank you for everybody